And in conclusion about Jaws, I want to see what everyone felt about it, such as bottom line.
Why do you always start with me?
Well, you're the last to my left, and I really like the movie Last House on the Left, so there you go.
Oh, okay. And in conclusion, I think it's a classic. I think it'll withstand time. I think it's a scary movie, just for the fact that it's real, or it can be real, and it's frightening.
I agree. Miss Carnage?
It's a great movie. It's brilliantly done. Steven Spielberg did a great job with it. He directed, didn't he?
Yes.
He did a great job directing. He had a great vision. It was just brilliant. It has some scary parts to it. Great actors. It was just a great movie. Classic.
It was a classic, and the acting was phenomenal, and it's just wonderful. I mean, it was real for everybody. I mean, you could feel it when you go out in the water. You're always wondering, where's that shark?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I saw the movie for the first time a couple of years ago, so I mean, I don't have that deep of a connection with it, but I can understand why it is so iconic, though, because I mean, not only the way it was shot, the way it was directed, the way the actors portrayed, being eaten alive, being, needing a bigger boat. I mean, it was just a complete synergy of, all those great things that make a movie good.
I honestly feel that it's probably the best out-to-sea horror movie ever. There's been many spoofs regarding sharks and monsters of the sea after that just really didn't do the same effect, and most of them were by Peter Benchley as well, such as there was a shark scene in the deep. You had the movie The Beast, which was regarding a gigantic octopus that was also by Benchley. And it just seems like even movies like Piranha, or there was one, Octopus, I believe it was. It was called Tentacles. It just seems like nothing can live up to this. For horror movies based at sea, I honestly feel Jaws is the pinnacle.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, I do agree.
And I have yet to see an action horror movie that is yet to top that, especially one regarding animals.
Or fish.
Yes, or fish. Because Cujo, that comes very closely to the horror animal genre.
Yeah.
With the intensity, definitely. Because Jaws and Cujo, they play on something that's very simple. Nature versus man.
Cujo scared the crap out of me when I saw that movie. I don't like dogs, I think, because of that movie.
And I think that's something that kind of taps into man's fear just a little bit more, is when man faces something that is natural.
And something that could... And also, I think it's mainly the fear of being bumped down on the food chain to where we are so vulnerable that this, creature, if it wanted to, could just crush us and, make us pee our pants.
Well, another thing, instead of us being the hunters, we are the hunted.
Yeah, there was another movie based off of those two rogue lions. What was the name of that movie?
The Ghost in the Darkness.
Ghost in the Darkness. That was a wonderful movie.
That was another good one. I mean, it was only scary in the parts where you didn't know where the lion was, and people were being dragged.
And that was a true story.
Yeah, and I saw them. I saw those lions
in the Natural Museum of
History.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I was like, wow, I'm looking at the real lions that did that, and it was a little eerie.
It is. It's a phenomenal movie when a person can use nature against man. It's terrifying because a lot of times nature has the upper hand. It really does. We like to think that we are superior and we have the upper hand, but when it comes down to a situation that is regarding a catastrophe, may it be storm-wise or animal-wise, if you are not equipped to take care of yourself during those situations, it can lead to quite an atrocious ending.
Most definitely.
Well, I mean, it's like, you can only prepare so much for a storm. You can only prepare so much for, a hurricane or tornado, or even something simple as the heat or the blistering cold.
Now, I've heard a lot of people say Jaws was stupid due to the fact of all you had to do was just not go into water. Okay, well, my argument to that is you have a mayor who is greedy, and he's trying to bring more into the economy for his island. So, of course, he's not going to tell the bad parts of what's going on. He's going to say it's okay, go swim, it's fine. And then as far as the people going out on the charter to hunt the shark, they say that was stupid of them. And I think to myself, well, anyone who is under law enforcement with a good conscience, may it be a sheriff, a game warden, or whatever it may be, if there is something in the woods or the water that is killing people or terrorizing a civilization, you don't wait around for it to move on to another neighborhood. You try to take care of the situation there on a good conscience of knowing that you killed the killer and it's not going to go get someone else who's innocent.
Well, I would wonder what had happened if the people did not go back in the water. Would the shark have gone away?
It might have, and it might have gone to another area where it could have fed just equally as well. I mean, it has the ability to go to any coastal land. And the thing is, I asked myself, if I was sheriff and I told people just don't go in the water and let nature take its course, could I live with the fact of knowing that the shark swam away and is probably terrorizing another beach just like mine? That would almost be like saying, it's not my problem, let's ignore it, it'll go away and become someone else's problem.
When I was living in San Diego back I think it was the late 80s, they had a beach it was like a cove. It was called the Children's Cove in La Jolla, and the seals started coming in and hanging out in the cove there, and the sharks were attracted to the seals, and so there was great white sharks coming in. There's like a big deep trench out there, and there was great whites literally coming into the cove, and the Coast Guard was out on these little rubber boats poking, literally trying to herd the sharks out of the cove.
Wow.
In little rubber boats.
They were brave.
I think they need a bigger boat.
All right. Well, I think we had fun with this podcast, and I want to plug a few things here. Miss Mulvihill and I, we're working on getting a submission together for Southern Haunts, which is actually advertised on Facebook and my newsletter. On YouTube as well. You can click on the Horror Junkies page or the Traumatized Trailers page, and you can learn more about the submission guidelines that we have for Southern Haunts. We're also working on getting together a few events for Vicksburg, Mississippi, such as the Things That Go Bump celebration, which is a celebration for people who have a love for horror and the paranormal. And it's going to be at the Vicksburg Library on September 17th from 9:30 until 4:30. We will have authors. Miss J.L. Mulvihill will be one of those fine authors there promoting her young adult book. I will be an author as well, sending out to the public Traumatized. We will have the paranormal author Dr. Alan Brown, and we will have multiple artists. We are also going to have multiple paranormal groups that are willing to speak with the public about hauntings that they have experienced, and also things that they have questions about, such as if they're interested in it, even though they haven't had paranormal experiences, they can still come and learn. And that is a good opportunity for people who are interested in reading, writing, or doing art to come and speak to the authors and artists and be able to participate and make their dreams come true as equally as what ours has. The event is for child abuse awareness. We do donations for the Child Abuse Awareness Center, and we are in the works at the moment of having first prize being going on a ghost hunt with an actual paranormal group. So, first prize is going to be going on a ghost hunt with a paranormal group. Second is going to be gift certificates for Lorelei Books and the coffee shop next door, a Highway 61 Coffee.
Yum, yum.
third prize is going to be a gift certificate for Monsoors on the River, which has a very romantic lookout point to the river itself. Also on December 3rd, I believe.
Yeah.
December 3rd, we have the Yuletide Souls Fest. J.L. Mulvihill will be another author there, as myself, and we will have other authors pertaining to self-help, such as J. Moffat Walker, who recently published a book about the life of Michael Jackson.
The Blueprints of Sir Michael.
Yes, fantastic book from what I understand. She's also an amazing poet. And we're going to have a more diverse crowd there of authors and artists. So if you are not a fan of horror, or you want to buy something for a family member who is not into horror, you have the opportunity to splurge into young adult, fantasy, sci-fi, self-help, and so on and so forth. And once again, this is also going to be for the Child Abuse Prevention Center, where donations will be accepted, where children can have a Merry Christmas. And I just want to ask Ms. Mulvihill if she has any plans, such as anything in northern Mississippi coming up, such as a con or anything like that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we are putting together an Imagicopter event in Columbus, Mississippi, at the Lee Mall. That should be October 7th through the 9th. The mall is sponsoring us, which is really cool, and we're going to have quite a few authors there. The genre is comics, and Andy Childress will be there.
Yeah, Bubba World Comics.
Bubba World Comics,
yeah,
yes.
check out www.bubbaworldcomics.com. Awesome site.
Yeah, good stuff.
He puts up a new comic every day, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He's got daily comics, yes. And so we're going to have quite a few authors there, including Alexander Brown is going to be there, and I will be there, and quite a few others. We haven't gotten the whole group together yet, who's all going to be there yet, but we're still working that out. Also, I'm going to be having a book signing at Pentimento Books on September 10th, and that is in Clinton, downtown Clinton, on Brick Street. They'll be having their market festival there at the time. And then, let's see, coming up in a few weeks, I'll be going to HyperiCon, which is in Nashville. It's a nice little con that's fun to go to. That is June, what did I say, in a couple weeks? June 17th, I believe.
I believe so.
That's the weekend of June 17th. And then, of course, there's Fandom Fest, which is July 22nd, the weekend of July 22nd, and there's going to be all kinds of big people there. There's going to be John Carpenter, Henry Winkler will be there. There's a lot of the Fonz, yeah.
Susan from Jaws.
And
Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles will be there, yeah. As there's just go on the website and check it out, because there's just way too many people to list. There are a lot of people going to be there.
And that's www.fandomfest.com, correct?
Correct, yes. I'm also going to be attending Dragon Con, because my book should be released right about that time. So I'll be there in costume as one of my characters, and that is Labor Day weekend in Atlanta, Georgia.
You know what you really ought to do when your book is released and people start buying it and you make a connection with your readers? You really ought to start telling them, dress up in your favorite steampunk outfit, or dress up as your favorite character, hold up a copy of my book and take a picture of yourself. Send it to me.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think I'll do that. And I have someone working on a new website with my domain name, so that'll be cool, yeah.
Yeah, definitely do that.
That'll be awesome.
I'd participate.
And I'm working on a bunch of short stories, and I'll be doing a review for Galen by Alan Gilbreth.
Yes, and that will be available on www.fearfiends.webs.com.
And at the moment, I think that's about all I can think of at the moment.
Okay. And would anyone else like to add anything?
Well, I'm just working on my poetry collection. Hopefully, by this time next year, it'll be out.
Okay, and
Happy birthday!
Yeah,
Yay.
happy birthday!
Birthday!
And I would like to add that if you would like to be in contact with any of the viewers, reviewers that you heard on the podcast today or tonight, depending on when you're listening to this, each of us do have a fan page up on www.fearfiends.webs.com. You can add us on Facebook, and you can learn more about us and enjoy more of our reviews, such as on books, movies, and coming up, we also have people who are going to do reviews on music and games.
All right. I should also mention that Steven Zimmer will be at Fandom Fest, too.
Zimmer is an awesome guy. He's a cool guy to party with.
He's not only an author, he's a film director. And so I just thought I better plug his name in there because he's going to be there.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's like, even though these people are awesome names to the literary arts and just arts in general, we have names where I'm like, for example, Smurgeon. Smurgeon is awesome. The guy that did Smurd and has Dragon Talk Radio.
Dragon Talk Radio.
Yeah.
John, Dragon Talk Radio,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, Elizabeth Donald. Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Donald. We're like, yeah, Elizabeth's going to be there, and which she's a really awesome horror author.
Oh, yes. I love the Cold Ones.
Yeah,
Excellent book.
I haven't had a chance to read her second book yet. But I tell you what, since you said that you would review Galen by Alan Gilbreth, why don't you also review Cold Ones?
Okay, I should review Jimmy Guillotine's book also of Blood in the Moon.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah, because we really want to focus on independent authors and rising names, and that's our main goal.
Yeah. My work is cut out for me.
All right, everyone. Well, on that note, we want to say happy swimming, and we hope to hear from you next summer if Jaws doesn't take off an arm or a leg.
We need a